Let's bring in former federal prosecutor Andrew Cherkasky. Mr. Cherkasky, it's obviously pretty difficult to tell what was going on there. But when you're dealing with a suspect who is armed, authorities, law enforcement officers don't have a whole lot of time to make judgment calls.
Well, based on the reports that we're hearing, the videos that we see, this appears to be essentially a suicide by cop type of scenario. It's long been known. If you are going to fight with cops and resist in situations that are escalating like this, it is a death wish. And it is really unfortunate that people have kind of taken on this idea that even if they disagree with the laws as it relates to immigration in our country, or even the enforcement of it, to put themselves in such dangerous situations where people around them, even if it's not them, are aggressing against law enforcement, are in the way of law enforcement engaged in legitimate operations that have gone through all of the court systems and been blessed. What is happening is perfectly lawful on behalf of the Trump administration and the officers who are on the ground. And these folks who are putting themselves in their way are putting themselves in grave danger.
The president himself has come out and said that, these protests are way beyond the pale. Local authorities, the governor and the mayor in Minneapolis, are demanding that federal authorities get out of their state and their city. Should they?
Well, certainly not. We live in a federal constitutional system in which the federal government has to be able to engage in the enforcement of federal laws, whether those are criminal laws or whether they're civil laws, whether it deals with immigration or otherwise. The federal government, if stopped by states from enforcing those laws, is in a chaotic situation that simply would not be able to stand. And each state then choosing from one administration to the next what laws they're going to allow the federal government to enforce or not enforce. It's a recipe for an absolute disaster. And so when we look at what the state legislators and the public officials are doing in Minneapolis in standing in the way in this regard, it is exactly contradictory to what we need to be doing in a country in which it's the politicians who are elected by the people who enact the laws and the executive branch who enforces it. And these folks, I pray that they stay safe and stop with the dangerous situation that they are causing.
The folks at ICE say that, it's local authorities who are ramping up the trouble here because of these protests and the doxing of agents, the social media alerts about agent actions. Instead of sending, say, 5 people to try to apprehend one of these suspects, they're having to send 15.